welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a movie review, but first of all, happy Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving we're kind of just lounging around, and I had a little bit of time before dinner, so we're gonna be filming a video. I watched Don't Worry Darling, and it was actually really good. I had the feeling it was gonna be good. Like I watched like commercials and stuff about it, and I was just like, wait a second, like this movie, there's something about it. Looking at things from different perspectives and really like critiquing them. I do like doing that just in general. Um, but like more so lately, I like watching those type of movies and just like kind of doing it because it's kind of giving it to you in like a nice healthy dose. Um, instead of you like you're just like critiquing any movie. Like I do that already like on this channel for like new movies, but like it takes the fun out of watching movies sometimes when you're thinking, oh, this and that. This movie, it's like you're made to do that, you know. So that's kind of nice. You start off and they're already in, I guess, this like world, and they're just kind of living their life. It's like suburban, the nuclear family esque kind of vibe, but also it's a little bit modern. It's a little bit more, I guess they have like certain values that we do nowadays, but at the same time, it's like a mix of that and like the values back then. The women stay home and clean and everything, and the men, they go off to work every day to this like top secret project, and like the girls, I guess they think that they ended up there somehow because the men needed work and they got like this job, and therefore they know that they live in this like sort of like quarantined little area, where life is like perfect, but then it's like, so the women are doing all these like household cleaning things, and like they have like the children that they take care of and stuff, but they are also just like very happy doing it. Like they know that they're like doing it for some bigger purpose, for like their husband to like get out of work, everything is clean, but then like they can also have fun with their husband, like afterwards. We our main character, her name is Alice, the man is Harry Styles, and I was a little bit like, is this gonna be cringy? And he was really good. So we're looking at this from, I guess, Alice's point of view. Routine, they wake up, they make bacon, eggs, and everything, and then they get a little intimate, and she goes off into taking him to his car, bringing him his lunch and everything, and has no problem just kind of like being like, they just got out of it, you know, or she just got out of bed, saying bye. All the other housewives are just like, you know, like they're kind of like the rebellious couple, you know, like the fairly like new ones that just came in and everything, and it's totally normal that like, you know, they're totally crazy about each other. And then he comes home and she like has like a cup of wine, and like she's just waiting for him, and she looks all pretty and everything, and then like either they become intimate again, or they like go out, or they, you know, just like enjoy each other's company. This There's this one scene, I guess, in the beginning where like he like is teaching her how to drive, and it's okay because it's just like for fun. And like she's not actually like driving the car, but she does know how to drive, and it's not seen as abnormal. So it's just kind of that world kind of thing. Um, and the men are not supposed to tell anybody what the secret project is, because then they could be kicked out. Women are not supposed to like act out of line in the sense that they, I guess, if they find out like about, because it turns out that the women are the ones that are kind of being brainwashed, and the men are the ones who chose their women, their wives, at to be like in this simulation. It ends up being like a simulation, and they are the only ones that know about it. And then like their work is they go and they like get out of the simulation, but they're still in bed. Like their bodies are like in one stationary place. They have like these things on their eyes that just kind of like zones them out and takes them to this other place. And the men, I guess, either have to wake up. It wasn't very clear. They either have to wake up and then like report back like their findings, how they're feeling and stuff like that. Women are the ones that just kind of stay home and they like have an unlimited budget. They don't really have like money. They just say like, "Oh, like charge it on the account, charge it on the account." And they like buy stuff and they go like shopping and they just like sit down and they people like show them dresses and stuff and like, "Do you like this? No. Do you like this? No." And that's just basically what they do every single day. And I guess if they start acting like weird or like they somehow like catch on to things that are just not right, then they are acting out of line and they must be like taken away or reprogrammed and stuff. Really, like a bigger metaphor of like the men in society trying to take control of the women, but at the same time, like they're trying to create this ideal society with like dominant women because they chose like the women that they chose. They have to be like they have to go like I guess through this process and be like okay because it shows like Harry's character going through like okay his the person that he chose, she's fit and everything. She like they choose these strong individuals to go into this ideal, and there's no I don't know what the reasoning is other than it's just like an ideal perfect society, but then it's also that they're controlling them. And I guess it's like a representation of just kind of like how political figures try to like have people live these ideal scenarios and lives and everything, but there's all these hidden things underneath. If you want like a perfect world, you know, there's and the people running that perfect world, there's gonna be all these like discrepancies and stuff like that. And so it's like, is there even a perfect world? You know, I would have liked a little bit more like explanation as to why all this was happening and like who exactly was running it. I think it was the guy who was in there with them because once she like they said once she got out she couldn't be brought back in. So there's no one on the outside who could do that, but then they have to like communicate with someone to get like the glasses and everything. Like who did Jack communicate with to get that? And then in the actual world, like where are they? Like it seemed like they were like in the house that they were living in. So it's like, why has nobody gone looking for them? Or if they have, like, why has nobody found them? Like, where are their bodies? When she, like, kills Jack, like, who are they going to pair her with? Like, what are they going to do with her at that point? But then if they risk her getting out, she can go and, like, tell people and then they can go and look for these bodies. It's a little confusing, but I think it's also just, like, very interesting. It's also interesting that I think Alice, like, they have like all these superior dominant women, you know, that like are gonna like really take care of their man and also be like happy in this ideal situation. So at least they think it's ideal. She starts seeing things before her friend just tells her that like she's seeing things. So I'm over here thinking that like if the brain is strong enough, you'll like sense that there's something wrong. Or maybe that just happens and like we were just seeing it from her point of view and she was just like, "Oh, okay." But then because this person was telling her stuff and because she ended up outside somehow, then it became like an issue. And the only reason she saw something outside was because this thing, I guess, glitched or because she was very in tune with it because her friend was saying something. Like, what if, like, you know, it just kind of glitched and she was out there and she had no, like, nobody telling her anything or anything. And she, like, just ended up, like, why didn't you go after her? Like, why did you just, like, oh, okay, and just, like, and if it was a man that let her go, it was just like, why didn't you, like, like, why didn't the authorities like go and get her? Like, I don't understand. If it's such a big deal her touching this, and like, and then if she touched it, like, how many times did it take to like touch it to get out? Like, did she not touch it long enough? Like, or is it like the second time she touches it? Because she touched it, she should have gotten out, but she instead just kind of was like more aware, and like aware that this everything was wrong and everything. But it's like, why did nobody go get her? And then who put her? Did they reprogram her? She just didn't notice. Like, who put her back in the bed? I don't understand. What are they doing exactly? Like, because we do see this one scene where she's like aware that she's like being like, taken care of, and like they're reprogramming her and stuff. Like, what are they doing? Are they just like taking her and like making her black out, and like she falls asleep and like, oh, it was just a dream? Like, that's not helping you, because she's still like, even if she thinks it's just a dream, like, she's waking up and she's very aware that she saw something. And so like, I don't understand. If you're trying to make this whole thing work, like, why are you handling it in this way? I don't think we're handling it correctly here. I don't think they know what they're doing, really. And then her friend Bunny, like, I guess she lost her children in the actual world, so her and her husband like chose this life, and like she chooses to live there with her kids. But then after like Alice leaves, and like the wife suddenly like are a little bit more aware of like what's going on and everything, like she risked like this whole thing being like ruined, and then like that the wife of that one guy like kills him after like like she was like so like defending him and everything, but it felt like she knew something. And then at the end, like, why would you like talk about what is going on with work, or like that Alice is getting out in front of your wife? She's hearing this, and it's gonna jog her memory, and it's gonna be like, oh, that's not okay. And does she run everything now? Because then that'll be interesting if she runs everything. She has to like touch the building, like, but the men, they just go in a tunnel. So do they touch it too? Like, I'm not sure. And I'm also not sure if Alice and Jack broke up before, like, because it seemed like they were having trouble after a certain point. And so he, like, showed up at her front door, I think with, like, flowers. And, like, then, like, he somehow, like, got her, like, on the bed, like, by force, and, like, like, planted her in this universe, and like brainwashed her. When the guy was like talking about like, okay, is he like a potential candidate, he was like, oh, they had like a prior relationship, so I assume it's over, based on the memories that were shown. I wish we were shown more memories. um and then it's clear that she loves him, but she's like so upset about what he did. And like there was even a moment where she was like, maybe I'll stay here, like when they're talking and everything. And she literally was just like, I just need a second. And he was just like, no. And it's like, why? Like she was kind of like thinking about staying. Like, what are you doing? You're like forcing your hands around her. He's like biting her dress, and I'm just like, what is that? Like, you are psychologically not there right now. Like, what is happening to you? Because you were the one literally who forced her out, forced her to kill you, because you were being like aggressive. This whole thing was aggressive, but like she was like, okay, like this is like she was like thinking like, that she was gonna stay. And honestly, I don't even know why she was thinking she was gonna stay, because like he like used her and abused her, and it's just like, okay. So I don't know. And then like the fact that the guy was like seeing them in the bedroom, like that was weird. And then the fact that he was like, oh, like I trusted you in my bedroom, and it's like, did he just imply that like he was with her and they like were like she was cheating? That was not what was happening, and no one questioned it. They were just like, okay, come on, darling. It's like, he did emphasize, like, what did he see? Like, Jack is just sitting there like, okay, like, and I'm just like, but he made it seem like it was something else. And I'm just like, this guy saw you like with your, that's weird. That's weird. And the fact that like if they want this to work, why did he like go in the kitchen and be like, you think that you like, you figured everything out, and like, but you're being such a good girl listening. I'm just like, why would you jog her? Like, she seemed like she was fine. I don't know how that happened, but she seemed like, and then you triggered it. And then you trigger that whole episode, and like, did you not want her to stay anymore? Like, I don't understand. Because you said that she was challenging you in a good way. I don't understand. Okay, alright. Um, in the beginning they were driving the car in the middle of the desert, so they're not allowed out. Um, and to wander out and whatever. But they were driving the car, like maybe they were driving the car somewhere else. I don't know. Um, but yeah, overall I thought it was a really good movie. Like there's just little things here and there that I'm curious about. But I think that sometimes, those things are left to be unanswered. But it was very, very interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all real soon. Happy holidays!